The 606 Paper Piecing Pattern CD combines 3 of our out-of-print books. So if you were a fan of those books and missed them, or if you're new to paper piecing patterns, this is a great value. You'll find all of those books inside. And the neat thing about having them on a CD is not only can you print the patterns as many times as you want, but you'll have the ability to print them directly onto patterned papers or specialty papers, and that's going to save you a lot of tracing time. You'll find lots of different themes throughout the CD: holidays, animals, people, cute designs, more formal designs. So lots of ways to add a fun new touch to your projects. Now this CD is made compatible for both our Mac and PC users. You will need Adobe Reader, and if you don't have that on your computer already, it's been included on the CD for you. So all you'll need to do is pop in the CD and install it when it prompts you. And we'll get into that in just a minute here and take a look at some of the fun ways you can use this CD. Well, let's go ahead and jump into our CD here. We're gonna pop it out and stick it in our computer. Wait just a minute for our computer to load that up. Now if you're on a PC, it might just pop up to this window, your startup window, right away. If you've got a different version of software, or if you've got a Mac, you may need to click on a startup window. You'll be clicking on a button that says Start here. It's a little scroll icon. Ours just pops right into that. Let's make it a little bigger here. So you'll see when you open your CD that you've got the 3 different books here: 201, 202, and 203 paper piecing patterns. Those do combine for a total of 606 paper piecing patterns. And when you want to open one of these books, you're simply going to click on the cover. So let's do that now. And it's going to open that book. Now it should open in Adobe Reader. If it doesn't, you'll want to make sure that you've got that software and that it is opening in Reader, even if you need to drag it down to an icon on the bottom of your screen. And you'll be able to view it in multiple programs, but you'll really want Adobe for when we get to the printing part of this process, which we'll take a look at later. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out a little on this page so you can see the full page there. And we'll take a look. You've got the cover, we've got some information about the designers. You'll find an index of all the different patterns, alphabetized, so that you can quickly scroll through and find what you're looking for. And then you've got some tips and tricks, ways to use the paper piecing patterns, some basic supplies, and some instructions for assembling your pieces. And then we'll get into some of the patterns here. Some of the pages will have an example project with them. You'll see that there are pieces for the project and then a picture of the project up above, along with the supplies that the artist has used. Let's go ahead and take a break now and take a look at some sample pages that I've printed off to give you an idea of what you'll find on the CD. I've printed off a variety of pages here. Let's take a look. Here's that airplane page that we were looking at on our screen. And you'll notice again that you've got the sample project here and all the pieces for your plane. And then a tip here that says to mat each piece on black. So you'll find little tips and tricks like that throughout the book. We've got a birthday cake on this page and a bluebird, a mailbox here with some fun letters sticking out on patterned papers. You can see that some pen work has been added, and the lines for that pen work are included on the pieces. We've got a little man with a camera here. And I love how in the paper piecing patterns book you'll find some different examples of fun ways to use patterned papers. Here's a tie-dye paper that's been used, ways to use some embellishments. His hair has been made with some sort of string or yarn. A bunny rabbit, and you'll see some ideas here along the side for some papers that you could possibly use. Some Disney characters We've got Ariel at the top there, Tinkerbell at the bottom. Some more, we've got Eeyore and Pooh. A fun teacup and teapot set, along with a page by one of our designers. So you can see there are really lots of different patterns here, things that you could use for anyone and any occasion, and dress it up with the right pattern papers to make it fit for lots of different people. Here's a bird in a bird cage. You'll also find some fun words. Here's birthday spelled out. Birthday boy, it looks like. Some holiday themes. We've got a candy train that would be perfect for Christmas on this page. And there's an example project down below. And that has actually got a second part on our following page here. There's the front of the train. So you can see how that would kind of continue from the first part there. And there's the sample page down below. Happy Easter. So all the holidays are covered in here with a variety of images and words. We've got a fun angel in my pocket here, the cute little angel peeking out. And some borders, these paper piecing borders you could make as long as you want to fit a 12 by 12 page, 8 by 8 page, a card, or other project. Here's a car. Some of these you'll notice are simpler designs, some are a little more complicated, so you can kind of pick a design that fits with the amount of time you have to work on your project. We've got a snowman here. Again, notice the embellishments. We've got some buttons on his shoes, some pieces of string on his scarf. And those ideas will really help you to create a unique project. Here we've got a cornucopia for our fall harvest. A little boy fishing. Some balloons. And these have been, looks like they've been printed or drawn onto vellum or other specialty papers. And a little Halloween bat at the end. So hopefully that just gives you a preview of some of the many ideas that you're going to find on this CD, really something to fit any occasion and any person in your life. Now that you've taken a look at all those designs, hopefully you've picked a couple that really struck you, and we'll take a look now at how to print off those pages. So let's go to our screen. Once you've decided on a pattern you want to work with, I happen to know that there are some lilies on page 81, so I'm just going to type that in at the top here, and we'll go to that page. Here they are, and we're going to be working with these, so I'm going to print off this page. Luckily, with the Paper Piecing Patterns books, the pages are already 8.5 by 11, so I don't have to worry about resizing them. I can just go up here to the print icon, and once we get our print window here, I can select to print current page. Now, if you wanted to print more than one page, you could select pages and enter a range of pages. You could print the whole book if you wanted to. You want to make sure on page scaling, go ahead and say shrink to printable area. That's just going to make sure you have some margins around the outside here so that you don't cut off accidentally any part of your pattern. And you can go ahead and make sure that the auto rotate in center is also checked. Go ahead and hit print, and you'll end up with your page in just a second. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of those printed pages now. All right, we printed off our pattern for the lilies. We may also want to print off the sheet of basic instructions. That's going to give us some good tips for working with our pattern, and possibly also the how to use paper piecing patterns section. That's going to give us step-by-step instructions on putting together our project. And there are also some good tips on there on how to embellish your finished project, adding pen work or chalking to it. And then we've got, of course, the pattern that we printed off. Here are our lilies. Now we've got a couple options once we get to this point. The easiest thing to do, I've printed onto white computer paper. I could glue this paper to the back of my patterned paper and then simply cut around the designs so that I don't need to trace them. You could also trace them onto your paper using a light table. Your other option would be to just print your page directly onto the front of patterned paper, which I've done here. So you can see I've chosen a plaid paper and I've printed those lines directly on to the front of the paper. Now all I need to do is cut out around it. I'll go ahead and end up with those lines so I don't need to add any pen work of my own. It's all done for me. And I've also got another sheet here. I've also printed that onto a specialty paper. So if you can see, there's kind of a shine to this paper. And that works just as well. You've got the same thing. So if I've got these two papers here, I could kind of combine those, cut out some pieces from this paper, some from this paper, and mix and match them to create my finished lilies. And you might want to try experimenting with some other specialty papers. Vellum would add a special touch, or some glimmer paper. And you can really mix and match any colors or patterns you want to create a unique finished product. So there it is. Printing is quick and easy, and you've got an awful lot of options there.